Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode I'm going to be talking about what to expect from the podcast in 2026. I recorded this episode on Christmas Eve, so the 24th of December 2025, which means as in timey-wimey fashion of the podcast, and the Christmas special is yet to be released for me, but when you are seeing this or listening to this episode, you should be able to check it out, so please check it out on either on YouTube or any of the audio platforms that the podcast is available on, if you want to check it out, because I think it's just amazing. It's probably close to an hour and a half long. It could have been significantly longer if me and Chuck didn't cut it short, because we thought we didn't want Matt to end up in a coma and have a nervous breakdown, or either of those, so we kind of even though we kind of went a bit longer than we thought, and as I've mentioned in previous episodes, that was the second time that episode was recorded due to technical issues. But yeah, it was yes, it's well over an hour, so please go check it out. But back to this episode, and the reason why I'm talking about what to expect from the podcast in 2026 in this episode specifically is because if you're listening to this episode on any audio platform, it will be releasing on New Year's Eve, so the 31st of December 2025. So tomorrow, when you're seeing this, is the 1st of January, whereas if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be released late December 2025, so post Christmas, but I'm not quite sure which days, because Matt doesn't necessarily do the same episode, which I think is actually a good idea. Just he doesn't tell me in advance which episode he's recorded, so I don't know. So yeah, but it will be by the time this episode releases on audio platforms, it will be available also on YouTube. So yeah, is what I was trying to say. But yes, if you've seen the Christmas special, me and Chuck did touch on this briefly, but I wanted to do a dedicated episode on it about what to expect for the podcast in 2026, and this is kind of more the logistical sides. So the daily format, which has been going for about 2.5 years now that's staying, that's not going anywhere. The podcast will continue on YouTube as well as on all the audio platforms that it has been on for the last few months, which I kind of wish I'd set up sooner, but here we go. So that's not changing. The shorts across all the podcast socials are staying. I'll continue to repost the things I'll be talking about in future episodes on the Podcast X page. So if you do want a taste of what I might be talking about on the podcast in the not so near future, then please check that out. That's where that's the podcast social that I'm more directly involved with, because I kind of repost it. I probably should do it on some of the others, to be honest, but yeah, just X is the easiest one for me. But so there's that. Obviously, the variety of content, that's not going anywhere. I'm not saying I'm just covering this type of content. That's not happening. So if we're looking into the next year, obviously any news about the Not Too 2026 Christmas special, I'll be covering that. Any news about any MCU or DCU projects and trailers and release dates, all that kind of stuff, that'll still be there. Future of Neighbours, who knows? If there is a future, then I'll be talking about that, obviously, which I think there will be. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. Obviously, Chuck's bonus episodes will continue to be available across YouTube and audio platforms. That's a relatively new addition, that one. the Chuck's episodes used to be YouTube exclusive, and then he sent them to me as audio files as well, so they can be uploaded to Spreaker, which is the platform that I use that sends it to, distributes it, that's the word, to all the other audio platforms, so Spotify, Amazon Music, etc. But yeah, is there anything else I'm missing? A Variety, Big Finish, that of course, Big Finish, all kind of the monthly release date overviews. I'll keep doing those. I'll keep doing trailer discussions, announcement discussions. So actually today, when I'm recording, not when you're watching or listening, I recorded the Unit Era's Hostile Universe announcement. So please go check that out if you haven't already. On audio platforms and YouTube, it may not have released yet, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, it's basically nothing's changing. I've done a 5-minute episode of basically saying nothing's changing really. Kind of, I think Matt wants to add a few bits going into next year, but kind of the frequency of the podcast isn't changing. The content the podcast actually talking about isn't changing. Me and Chuck are doing episodes. Obviously, I aim to do 7, and Chuck will step in if I can't do it, as well as Chuck's bonus. It's at least 1. He tries to do 2, but isn't always able to. So, yeah. So yes, you've got at least 8 episodes a week. And last week was obviously you got spoiled because of the Christmas special. So, yeah. Well, let me know of anything you want the podcast to cover next year, regardless of whenever it releases on YouTube. It will be next year, so put that in the comments below. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.